Right then, hello, good evening, and welcome. My name is Paul. I'm also called Nate. You've possibly seen my daily teasers float past every so often, and you've possibly seen me talk about movies and TV shows, which is kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight. I've actually had granted a quiet Friday night in, but I've also had a chance to finally catch up with a series I've been meaning to watch for a little while. I've actually caught the first episode of The Mandalorian. Right, just to try and summarise, set some 5 years or so after the fall of the Empire in Return of the Jedi, Chapter 1 of The Mandalorian, called The Mandalorian, opens in an unnamed bar on an unnamed ice planet. It shows us a heavily armoured but unnamed Mandalorian, played by Pedro Pascal, a bounty hunter, capturing a target and taking him back to his base to claim a reward. A reward he collects from guild leader Grief Karga, Carl Weather, who has a potentially big job for his best known agent. A mysterious client, played by Werner Herzog, is looking to pay serious money to have the Mandalorian bring the client a 50-year-old asset at a heavily guarded location. It's a mission that could prove interesting, because of course the client can only tell the Mandalorian so much. Now, have I enjoyed this episode? Was I impressed with it? I have to say yes to both. I didn't manage to get to catch up with this series when it was originally broadcast, so of course I'm catching up with it now after maybe the fuss has died down a little bit, the buzz has died down, and maybe we know one or two things about exactly what that asset was. It's a baby Yoda, or it's a child of the same species as Yoda. Excuse me. So there's a certain. I have gone into this with a certain amount of foreknowledge and a certain amount of awareness that this is or has been flatteringly talked about. I can see why. It's a beautiful looking little space opera, old-fashioned western. There's lots of shots of what looks like Monument Valley. There's lots of alien horses that look like a cross between a tyrannosaur and a cod. There's all sorts of things going on there, and it's very, very watchable. Personally, I'm intent on watching the rest of this first series, and even if I don't catch up with series 2, which is due out at some point, I do want to see the rest of this one. It looks really rivetingly good. Hopefully you'll be able to join me for that if you haven't seen it already. And if you haven't seen it already, go catch it. It looks really good. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening. Take care.